It's nearly the end of December, it's almost the new year, and it's time to do my favorite ritual at the end of every year, which is revealing and decorating my 2026 journals. Every year I use a Leuchtturm journal, and I use my hobonichi weeks as an agenda and planner. And every year I crack open a new color of the Leuchtturm collection and decorate the cover. And if you saw my video last year for my 2025 setup, you would know that this is my 9th journal. So this is my 9th year journaling, which means 2026 is going to be a decade of journaling for me. I think it's only like my 4th year of hobonichi using. The pile is getting really heavy now to transport. As you can see here, I have 9 journals of all different colors, and I'm here to share with you my process for my 10th journal. Here are my credentials. For 2025, I went with the vanilla Leuchtturm 1917, and I paired it with this beautiful green hobonichi weeks. So shall we maybe start by revealing the 2026 hobonichi weeks? We're going to go from this to the squirrel. This is the 2026 hobonichi design that I chose. At first, I was thinking about the Moomin one, and I was like, why I love Moomins, but why am I not obsessed with the design? And the answer was simple. I just wasn't obsessed with the design. This one, however, I love it. I'm not someone that customizes their hobonichi weeks that much. Like, I won't change the cover of it. I kind of like it as it is. So here's the 2026 hobonichi. What am I gonna do for my 2026 Leuchtturm color? What is a perfect complementary color for this certain hobonichi? Well, I'll tell you what it is. For 2026, I chose the mint green Leuchtturm 1917, and it couldn't have been more perfect. See, the 2026 Moomin hobonichi weeks is a pastel baby blue, just like this one. I couldn't have my weeks and my journal being the exact same color. The squirrels were perfect. These guys are a match made in heaven, the same as these guys were a color match made in heaven. Now, let's get to my favorite part. Let's unwrap and prepare these bad boys. I have been doing this every year for the past 10 years. And if you've seen any of my videos, you know I describe it as a ballerina breaking in her shoes, because that went viral like, what, 3 years ago? And they always have a certain way of doing it. And I have a certain way of doing this. And I always wait for the end of the year to unbox my hobonichi. I know some people do it in September when the designs come out. I like to save it. Something that I also do with my weeks is that I attach a little elastic to the book so that it doesn't just flop open on its own. I'm going to do the same thing with this one. And right now we're also going to clean the clear cover because she's gotten a little murky. Now, this pink elastic got really banged up, but I also kind of still want to do a pink elastic for this one. So it might just get banged up again for 2026. We've punched 2 holes in the back to put the elastic through. I'm gonna go with this frilly pink one. Then I kind of just push it through. And it's worked so far. Also, since I've been reusing my weeks cover so much, it ripped a little bit down the middle, so I'm gonna reinforce that. All right, here she is in her clear cover with some mending done so that hopefully it won't like continue to tear and I won't have to get a new one until a couple more years. And here's the elastic to keep it shut. Okay, so I forgot to say that in like October, the keychains from my hobonichi completely fell off. I think because this part here was ripping. Now it's mended, so I think I can re-punch a hole and stuff these in there again. But maybe I want some different keychains for this year. I think Doraemon could be an option. Although this keychain looks a little bit... I think it'll survive. I think that's all the teeny tiny ones I have. We're gonna go with these 2 this year. All right. So we switched out the cover from the 2025 one to the 2026 one. Now let's clean the cover for this one too. I like using a clear cover for the Leuchtturm more than the Weeks, just because the Leuchtturm I do really cover in stickers. So it does actually help with keeping those from falling off. Let's clean that. Okay, she's a little cleaner now. Can't believe this is the 10th year I've done this. When I started journaling, it was when bullet journaling was super popular. So people always recommended you to get a dotted notebook, and the YouTuber that I loved at the time was using a Leuchtturm. So I went out and got my first one. I love gridded notebooks and journals for sketchbooks and really any other type of notebook, but I've always stuck with the dotted Leuchtturm. It's just very familiar and I like it. Oh my god, it's so crisp and clean, the comparison. All right, so here comes the biggest and most important step, which is the customization of the cover. I go and I use those really rare stickers that you don't usually want to use. I use those in this time of year. It really is a time of celebration and transformation. So let's get those out, shall we? This is my sticker collection. Let me take out my sticker box. Okay, so this is the one I used last year. I think I have an Usahana one somewhere too. Okay, I've got some options from the Masatoro collection. I think we can start here. When I do covers for my journal, I usually take an empty, transparent sticker sheet and lay out all of the ones that I'm thinking of using. That way I can sort of move them around before setting anything in stone. And as you can see here, I was pretty set on using one of my own sticker designs for the centerpiece, one of my old jelly ones. Sticker sheets are in my shop, by the way. But I found an old shaker sticker of these two bunnies with the rainbow that I just knew would be the perfect fit for this color, this journal, this coming year. So yeah, I decided to ditch the old Jello one because we can't do Jello 2 years in a row, and I went with this shaker sticker instead. Okay, so we're getting to the final moments of the cover. This is a super old sticker that I got ages ago in Mexico. I actually have a similar one on one of my old notebooks. I'll show you. I have it on this one. It's from the same sort of bootleg collection. So yeah, I decided to go with this one instead of my jelly one, just to switch it up, because I did do a jelly one last year. So we're switching it up. I chose this biscuit sticker because it is Year of the Horse. Sometimes I like to use the little barcodes that come with stickers. I think they're pretty funky looking. I want like a medium, not so tiny one to put here. And there's the cover for 2026. Okay, I put the front cover on. It's not looking like there's any stains, so that's good. Now I think I want to do a little something to the first few pages. I switch it up almost every year because some pages just don't really work for me. Like last year I had a vision board and I barely looked at this. The one I really look at is my big vision board that's over there that I made a separate video on. But I do really like my introduction page, so I'm gonna do a little bit of that. And maybe I'll introduce some new stuff, I don't know. Now we're gonna do the intro pages. I'm gonna use my Post-it collection for this. I think I definitely wanna use one of these this year. I feel bad because I always, again, for the past 10 years, I always use the Leuchtturm brand, but I always cover up like any sign that it was a Leuchtturm. I don't use the stickers, I cover up all the little thingies that they add, but I'm like, trust me, I love the brand, I love it, but I will cover up every single thing that symbolizes the brand. I love layering the papers over each other. I think later today I'm gonna make some butternut squash soup. Going in with my favorite washi tape design. I think I like this as it is. Something that I used the most in my journal this year were my trackers. This year I'm actually gonna do 3 trackers, unlike last year that I only did 2. The new one is gonna be a dream tracker. I've been better at remembering my dreams this year, and I kind of just want to keep track of what kind they are, if they were really stressful, if they were nightmares, if they were really happy. I also want to start writing them down like a lot more. So that's what the new one's gonna be. Ay, me duele la manita de tanto pinche grit que estoy haciendo. Ya mero, no mames. Y lo peor es que ya se me enfrió el té. I'm doing a little book reading page. I also made a movie page. I also want to do a TV shows one, but for this I am gonna need another grid because last time I didn't do a grid, my writing was all out of line and funked up. And this is gonna be for TV shows / online series because I do love just random shit on YouTube. Also, I'm filming this on Monday, the 29th. I'm gonna say for accountability, this is gonna be up on Tuesday, the 30th. Because last year I posted it on the 30th as well. So, if you're seeing this, happy Tuesday the 30th. Can you believe I posted it on time? That's awesome! And something new I've been doing is adding one of these random B-side labels to the back of my books. I did it on my one from 2025, so I'm just doing it again for 2026, and I chose this tempura one because it's blue and yellow. Let's add something else for fun. This is cute. There we go. Okay, let's decorate a little bit on the inner page for my contact info. Last year I did one of my own memo pads. I think I'm gonna do that again because if you guys didn't know, I make stationery. I'm gonna add one of these sticky notes that I got in Mexico. And for this part, I kind of just use whatever stickers I have laying around. And I'm gonna shove in a bunch of my washi tape too. If you have watched my videos, you've heard me say this a bajillion times, but I like using my clear washi tape because it kind of counts as like a bunch of extra stickers. Since the background can be made transparent since the background is like basically transparent, I really like using it in my spreads. See, it just kind of blends in. If you're interested, I have a bunch of different designs on my shop, and I also make other kinds of stationery. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. And there we have it. That's all for my setup for 2026. We have the new covers, the intro pages, and some cute extra trackers that I decided to include this year. Also, reminder that I have a 2026 calendar in my shop now on sale because it's basically 2026. The end of an era with these two. And this is how the cover came out for the main journal. I love that I chose a shaker sticker in the center. It's completely out of water. It's like 20 years old. I used a shaker charm in my first journal ever 10 years ago, so I feel like this is a nice homage to that anniversary. And I love how this came out. I'm excited to see what new colors Leuchtturm releases. I loved their apricot color, and I'm not a big fan of orange, but for some reason that color is very tantalizing to me, so we'll see what goes on next year. but these were the 2025 picks that we are retiring, and this is the new combo for 2026. I'm very excited to use these. If you also do a New Year setup like this, I would love to see. I always love watching other people's journal setups because it gives me ideas to what to add to my own. Thank you for watching. If you made it to the end of the video, leave a comment that says Happy New Year, and I'll see you in the next one, which will be next year, and probably a December setup. Okay, Happy New Year. Bye. The squirrels were perfect.